look, there's a lot of good players in the world at the moment, but I was asking the other day in the Star studio, if you could blank piece of paper and you had to choose one player as your first picked in 2020, who would it be? Would it be AB de Villiers? Would it be Chris Gayle? Would it be Shane Watson? Would it be a bowler like Bravo can bowl at the end? But I think it was generally a consensus that Virat Kohli was the best player and one of the first penciled in. For me, it would be Virat Kohli. And the reasons I say that is because I just think you look at his record when he's chasing. It is unbelievable no matter who he's playing against. I also think he's so competitive and he's so driven and so passionate about it that he just finds a way to hang in there. He finds a way to score when he needs to. And I think it's infectious to the rest of his team. So I think he's a very good team man. He's obviously an amazing player, a great player. And the innings the other day against Australia reminded me of my good mate Sachin Tendulkar playing one of those innings from nowhere. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter who was bowling, he just kept smashing them and would find the gap. So yeah, Virat Kohli to me is the best player in the world, best batsman in the world at the moment, and probably the first pick by many. He'd be first picked by me and first picked by many in any form of the game. And I really enjoy watching Virat Kohli play. I think the differences between de Villiers and Kohli, de Villiers plays he's a 360-degree player. He plays the reverses, the laps and all those sort of things, but hasn't really played too many of those innings like Virat Kohli, where I think he's capable of it, but I think he probably outsmarts himself too much and tries to do too many unbelievable shots. We've seen some amazing innings from AB de Villiers in all forms of the game. I think it was against the West Indies where he got 80 off 40 balls or 30 balls in a game or something, some ridiculous strokes, like insane stroke play. So he's got all the shots, but I just think there's a determination or a finding a way of someone like a Virat Kohli, to me, that just puts him ahead of AB de Villiers. And I just think if you look at their records, Virat Kohli has done it. He averages over 100 when chasing scores. Like, it's just insane to see those sort of numbers. AB de Villiers is a class act, and he's probably number 2 picked player, so there's not much between them. But I think Virat Kohli just pips him for his, even the innings the other day, there wasn't one reverse. They were all cricket shots. There was nothing too funky or nothing. There was just cricket shots, and that to me shows an amazing amount of skill to do that. So you look, there's not much between AB. He's a great player too, but for me, it's Virat Kohli. Yeah, to me, comparisons between Tendulkar and Virat Kohli is very nice for Virat. To me, there'll only ever be one Sachin Tendulkar. I think when I think back to those mid-90s, the way he played against all teams, pace, spin, I just hate to imagine what Don Bradman was like. I can't think of anyone playing better than what Sachin did between, 94 to 98 in those 4 or 5 years. We played Test cricket, one-day cricket, World Cups, all sorts of things in different conditions, and watching him play against all teams, against us as Australia is probably the best team in the world then. I was just blown away by some of the young shots at such a young age too. So the comparisons, I think, Virat will be very flattered by the comparisons of one of the best players that will ever play the game. But if Virat keeps going the way he is, then maybe down the track he could be compared with one of the great players of all time, which is Sachin. So, look, I think Virat is probably the best batsman in the world. He's a great player, but I think it'd be unfair on Virat to compare him with Sachin at the moment. Sachin, in all forms of the game over a long period of time, 25 years, 200 tests, and one day is 5,000 of them or whatever it was. I don't think it's fair on Virat to compare him to Sachin. That's too much pressure. There's already enough expectations and pressure on Virat, let alone start comparing him to Sachin. But I'm sure that Sachin sees a lot of himself in Virat Kohli, which is nice. And if Virat keeps playing the way he does for a long period of time, then he maybe one day will be bracketed the same as one of the all-time greats as well. Yeah, look, MS Dhoni, all 3 forms of his cricket is very tough. To keep, to bat, and to captain. And he probably, I can't think of too many other people who have done it as well as what MS done. People have had to go at it, like Brendan McCullum, Sangakkara. There's been a few other guys that have tried it, but it's very difficult to do. So I think when I first saw MS Dhoni play, I thought he had a lot of work to do with his keeping. His batting looked dangerous, and his captaincy was a bit left field. But once it's gone on, he's become a very good captain. And the reason he's a very good captain, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the major reasons, he gets the best out of his team. And he's always a couple of overs ahead of the game, which is crucial. And that's why he's so good in the shorter forms of the game, in T20 and 50 over cricket. So, yeah, I love watching him play. I love watching him captain the spinners. But most importantly, I love watching him bat. I think his batting is destructive, innovative, and I think he should bat higher. I'd like to see more of him, give himself more of a chance to face more balls. But yeah, he's a wonderful player and a wonderful captain. And one of the real big successes of India is because you've got MS Dhoni as your skipper.